Uh, Very excited as always to have you in these sessions, as we always look forward to have these sessions with you on a weekly basis. As you know, they give us the opportunity to literally have represent this industry on a good light and also bring awareness to our ecosystem. Of course, the point is to build, develop a global decentralized community. And as we're doing this in the process, we're all being informed, educated, and inspired. And that brings power to our community. And that's exactly the goal that we strive to achieve. So once more, welcome. Happy Thursday to all of us. I hope you and yours are doing amazing. I hope your week has been going great so far. As always, we're very thrilled to have you here today with us in this session today. There is quite a bit to cover, and the title already gave it away. It's about fundamentals last for eternity. That's a bold statement. And as you know, we don't like to just make bold statements like that and leave it unchecked. We always like to check what we say, verify, triple check, and this is exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to really not leave any stones unturned, ensure that we really analyze and understand what it means to have strong fundamentals and why strong fundamentals last for eternity. And we'll also look at major projects that have been doing that and are market leaders and are in the process of still doing it using the blockchain technology. And that concept works, it works. So with that said, as always, we used to always go through the comment first, but now as we grow, as we're becoming a larger and larger community, going through these comments can take a lot of time. And we want to really just get to the thick of things from the get-go, as there's quite a bit to cover. So we always like to get to the topics first, discuss the topics, and then we'll come full circle and acknowledge all of you, go through your comments, go through your questions, your feedbacks, and everything at the end. And we'll take our time to go through every single comment that is being posted out there. But with that said, I want to welcome every single one. I want to thank every single one that is out, that came today to this session, that is participating live on this YouTube stream, and also for putting out your comments, your feedbacks, any questions that you might have. We will come back full circle at the end, and we'll ensure that we answer every single question that you post, community. So rest assured that we'll come back and read every comment at the end. There's quite a bit to cover. With that said, we would like to always start with the topic first, the session first, so that those that will be listening later on, they don't have to skip anything. They can really just go with the flow like we are right now. So with that said, community, first of all, again, welcome everyone. Those that are new in the community, feel free to join our social platforms. We are very active on Twitter. Talking about Twitter, all our tweets are out. Check out Bullrun, Survivor, and Killer Whale. All the tweets are out. Let's ensure that we engage with these tweets, as they give us the opportunity to reach as many people as possible, to bring awareness to our ecosystem. And as you know, network effect is activated. And that's how the blockchain technology works. The more people embrace, adopt, use our platform, the more valuable it becomes, right? It's as easy as that. That's how network effects work. And the stronger our network effect, the better for all of us, right? So with that said, like I said, today's topic, fundamentals last for eternity. I'm really eager to go through this topic today with you, community, as I'm sure that at the end of the session, hopefully that we'll have something great to take away with, and that will shed a lot of light to this topic today, and that will feel enlightened, informed, educated, and inspired. With that said, let's get to today's topic, community. Let's jump right into it. And bear with me as I change my screen here. And right. So as always, let's briefly go through the market. before we dive deep into today's topic, the market has been just going up and down sideways. As we know, we're still in the fear zone. As you know, the market is very emotional. Fear and greed index is still at 37. This indicates fear. As we know, when the market is fearful, usually it's either going sideways or it's in the red. Uh, there's a lot of uncertainty still in the markets, as we know, but a lot of anticipation also coming on. And this is exactly where we're kickstarting this session today. And as we want to kickstart the session today, the anticipation, of course, is the interest rate cuts, right? The rate cuts. This is what we are all, the fast interest rate cuts. This is what we all anticipating. This is what we all looking forward to, right? And this is exactly what we aim for. We want to know more about this. What's going on moving forward, right? So as always, every session we like to lay the foundation. And the foundation of today, like we said, is fundamentals last for eternity, right? And right now, knowing this, it's very important for us to understand that we are in the final stages and we are less than a week away from the first interest rate cuts, right? And we all understand what that means, especially those that have been around through various cycles before. We all know what this means. This means you better have your bags ready, strap yourself, and let's get ready for the ride, And money printing is about to come in. The economy is about to get stimulated, right? And the fiat currencies are about to be rolled out. The European Central Bank, EC, the European Central Bank already cut interest rate today again by 0.25 for the second time already. So all indicators are that in less than a week, on the 18th of September, the first interest rates is going to get cut by the US. And like we said, if US sneezes, everybody catches a cold because they hold there is global reserve currency, and whatever they do affects the rest of the world drastically, right? So everybody's anticipating the US to also start with the interest rate cuts. And that's the interesting part. That's what triggers the market. That's what gets the engine running, the bull cycle flowing, because like we understand by now, economies need transactions, but transactions on their own are useless unless there is liquidity, and interest rate cuts are the trigger for liquidity. So now we are in the end stages of literally engaging, stimulating, adding liquidity into the economy so that we can have the economy stimulated, and then we can finally get into a full-blown bull cycle that we all have been anticipating. Now that we understand this, isn't it the more important for us to ensure that our ecosystem has strong fundamentals? We understand that this crypto industry is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Isn't it more important for us now to ensure that we are fundamentally strong, that our smart contracts that have been deployed are efficient, are sustainable, so that, because we understand that everything that is deployed on the smart contract, nobody can change it. It's there for eternity, right? So with that in mind, community, this is the foundation that we want to lay out, and this is how we kickstart this session today. So what we're anticipating within a week are the fast interest rate cuts. And like we all know, and it's not enough to say that this industry is the one that everybody wants to be part of during the bull cycle, once the economy is stimulated, because it's the most lucrative, it's the one asset class that is the most lucrative, more lucrative than real estate, gold, bonds, treasury bills, and stock market, right? The crypto industry is the most lucrative, and because it's still such a young industry, and there is so much room for growth still. It's only a $2 trillion market industry, right? So it's still very young, and there's so much room for growth. And this is what makes it so special. Another thing is the difference between the internet and the blockchain is not only can you invest in it, but you can own it as well, right? Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take step by step. So what can we anticipate? Let's verify. We always say that technology, especially the blockchain technology, the crypto industry is the most lucrative after the interest rate cuts, right? And this is just to verify what we said. We always like to verify. Don't just take my word for it, right? We always like to verify with facts, with data, with statistics, so that we're all on the same page, right? So obviously, the most changes will be through consumer goods. That's like foods. People want to purchase their new cell phones, laptops, maybe their vehicles. They want to purchase, whatever they need to for the consumer goods, right? That's always obviously above. But once everybody's satisfied, they have the latest iPhones, they have the latest laptops, and so on and so forth. And it comes to investment in technology. That's now when that's where all the funds go to, right? And as you see in this chart, technology, and obviously the blockchain technology, the cryptocurrency industry is under technology, and this is usually what really benefits from the first rate cuts that usually happen, right? Especially within the first 12 months. And we are now in the final stages, and the takeaway of this chart is just for us to understand that right now, Jerome Powell has signaled that interest rate cuts are on the horizon, and within a week, we are all anticipating the first interest rate cuts due to the cooling labor markets, right, and the rising unemployment, right. And right now, the interest rate is at 5%, 5.25 and 5.50, and within 2 years, in 2022, it was near zero. So inflation is really, it's this just to see how inflation can really cause money to be scarce, right? High inflation. So this is their whole purpose, is to bring the inflation down, make access to money, credit cheaper, lower, so that the economy can be back to stimulation, and then the bull cycles can really start taking place. So the takeaway of this chart is just to verify that literally the technology industry, which under the technology industry, obviously is not just the stock market, but obviously it's also the cryptocurrency industry. And this is where everybody wants to be part of, because it's the most is the largest asset class, is the smallest asset class, but has the largest potential for growth. It has the largest room for growth, right? And this is one that you want to be in. So with this said, so many cryptocurrencies are in this space. Tens of thousands a day are being launched, right? So now that we understand all of this, it's one thing to be in this industry. It's one thing to be part of this, but it's a whole other thing to identify the right cryptocurrencies. And there are millions, literally, 2.4 million different cryptocurrencies. So where do you even start? Where do you go from here? How do you identify them? How do you decipher out of all of these cryptocurrencies, right? It's one thing to understand that, okay, interest rates are being cut, cryptocurrency is the right industry to be in, okay. But now the legwork starts now. Like, where do we really start now, right? With so many cryptocurrencies. And this session is for us to identify that. What makes them stand out? What makes your ecosystem stand out, right? Because hype will die out eventually. Trends and narratives will slow down eventually, right? But what's going to last for eternity? Strong fundamentals will last for eternity. Now, this sets the stage and paves and puts us right into today's session, right? And let's start with this right here. As we said, what we discuss is building on top of each other, right? So for those that participated in our last community event, remember how we were identifying, we went back to the basics and identified what's the purpose of blockchain? What was the original purpose of blockchain technology? And this is exactly what the UK government is introducing a bill. And this bill is to officially and legally recognize cryptocurrencies as your personal property, right? So this is a big deal. This is one of the largest governments, or rather economies, in Europe, right? And they're literally putting out a bill out there that is to protect the owners and holders of cryptocurrencies, and to clarify and officially legalize cryptocurrencies as your personal property. And remember, we had this discussion in our last community event. The whole idea of cryptocurrency is that, and the difference between internet and blockchain technology is that you can own it. Not just own it, but you can invest in it, in this new technology, right? And also, how are you going to own something? How can something be officially and legally your personal property if you don't have access to it, right? Remember how we discussed in regards to ETFs, how ETFs, you don't own the assets, or if your assets are on centralized exchanges, they are not yours, right? So all these policies and bills to officially and legally recognize your cryptocurrency as your personal property, what's the use if you're still on centralized exchanges, if you're investing in ETFs? Because those two disqualify you from even holding your assets, right? Because if your assets are on centralized exchanges, you don't own them. You don't have the keys to them. It belongs to the exchange, right? Same with ETFs. You don't own it, right? JP Morgan owns it, right? Not even BlackRock owns it. It belongs to JP Morgan, and it's custodied with Coinbase, right? So what's the point of such a bill to be passed if you don't hold your personal property? This means that you have to be in DeFi. Only those in decentralized finance who have their personal decentralized wallets, such as MetaMask, your Trust wallet, your DeFi Coinbase wallet, and so on and so forth. This is the only way you literally own and have access, full rights to your property, to your assets. And this is the whole purpose of the blockchain technology. And this is why you see such governments are now starting to put in bills and regulations to protect their residents and the citizens and the holders of cryptocurrency, so that cryptocurrencies are looked at as personal properties. So in order for you to have your assets as personal properties, it has to be in a decentralized wallet. That's the only way it can be your property, under your control, right? And this is exactly the whole purpose and idea of blockchain technology. It was for you to have your own assets under your own control, right? That's the whole purpose, community. And it's beautiful and encouraging to see that a large economy, one of the largest economies in Europe, such as United Kingdom, is literally passing a bill to officialize and legalize and recognizing cryptocurrencies as personal property. This is great. This just confirms our last community event, just when we discussed how we should go back to the origin, to the ethos, the purpose of blockchain technology is to be your own bank, hold on to your own assets, use your DeFi wallet to hold on to your assets, avoid centralized exchanges, avoid ETFs, because they're not your property, right? So that's a great thing that we need to understand here. And keep in mind, today's topic is fundamentals last for eternity. And with this said, we always have to look at challenges. Let's zoom out and look at the challenge that we're facing right now. And at the same time, let's look at the opportunities that present themselves through these challenges. And let's look at established institutions that are market leaders. What are they doing? Let's look at that. So look at Coinbase, right? Coinbase launches something known as CB, stands for obvious Coinbase BTC, right? This is our wrapped Bitcoin token. What a surprise. Are we surprised that Coinbase can afford to come up with wrapped BTC? We're not surprised, right? Because we all understand that Coinbase is dominating a key Bitcoin ETF service. What is it? Custody, right? They're the largest Bitcoin custodians. And in order to be able to launch a wrapped Bitcoin token, you need to have a backing. You need to have a lot of Bitcoin. And is this a coincidence that they are the ones that are launching it? This is very lucrative. They'll be generating a lot of fees through this token, right? And let's look at why are they even launching such a token. First of all, everybody is building on their foundation. Keep in mind, topic of today is fundamentals last for eternity. Coinbase is looking, they're not building for today, they're building for tomorrow and decades to come. And they understand that DeFi is the future. The reason why they launched this wrapped version of Bitcoin is so that it can be used in decentralized finance, right? Keep in mind, you have to own your property, you have to own it, and they're ahead of it. So let's look at, for those who don't understand what this means, what wrapped Bitcoin means. As you know, there are different types of Bitcoin or Ethereum or USDT or USDC, depending on whether you're on Binance, you're on Tron, you're on Solana. You always have to switch and ensure that you have, if you're on ETH, you have the ETH USDC or ETH USDT, right? And same thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin obviously is its own blockchain. So you can't use it on Tron or Solana or Ethereum unless it's a wrapped version, right? And this is exactly where Coinbase comes in, right? They're offering wrapped Bitcoin so that it can be used on Ethereum or other blockchains, right? And it also gives the Bitcoin holders access to DeFi applications, right? Now, Coinbase's CBBTC is the latest addition to the wrapped asset category, right? And the most famous one used to be WBTC, but that was on Tron, and now it's no longer backed. And this is the reason why a lot of people jumped out of it. And Coinbase took the opportunity, of course, and they're coming out with their own, because everybody knows they're the largest custodian of Bitcoin. They have the backing, they have the real assets, and they have the support from Circle, from BlackRock, and all of them, right? All ETF issuers are custodying their Bitcoin with them. So they have the physical asset. So this is how they're building their foundation, and they're building a strong fundamental to be built on top. So because they have a strong foundation and they started with being the largest custodian, now they can take this to another level and start issuing wrapped Bitcoin for the use of DeFi. You would think that a decentralized project is going to do something like this or offer something like this. But no, it takes a registered company that is under the SEC, Security and Exchange Commission, that is it takes an institution outside of the crypto community, right, that is really into DeFi to do this, right? This is why we always say, look around, look for challenges, look for opportunities, and then add value into the place. And this is what you would think that traditional crypto projects would come up with or try to do. However, it takes institutions, traditional institutions, to do this. So this will generate a lot of income, a lot of revenue, a lot of fees for Coinbase, right? So this is another product that they're launching that is going to add fees to their bottom line. And these fees are not going to be spent on DeFi. It's going to be actually removed from DeFi and spent in the traditional world. Because it's a registered company, they owe all these fees, all this revenue, they owe it to their shareholders. It's a stock, right? So guess who's going to benefit from all of this? It's going back to the shareholders, right? To those who are holding Coinbase stocks, or and that's exactly what's going to happen. Or Circle is going to benefit too, because Circle owns Coinbase 0.5%. Coinbase owns Circle as well. So they're going to complement each other, right? But it's nonetheless, it's not going to stay in DeFi. That's the point. So this is how Coinbase has been or is building strong foundation so that it can be built on top. They started with just being custodians, the largest custodians. That's how it started. Accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. First step, Once you have that in place, now let's start building products. And this product will generate a lot of fees. And this product can be used in DeFi, right, as well. And you can use it on platforms such as Aave, Compound. What can you do with it? Or MakerDAO allows users to lend, borrow, and earn yields with their Bitcoins, right? This is great. This is generating revenue. And also, CBDC also ensures secure, guess what? They are solving the liquidity challenge. And who else is solving the liquidity challenge? Bullrun, right? So Coinbase is using this product to ensure secure liquidity because they understand that this liquidity will be needed, and it's fully backed by Bitcoin held in Coinbase custody. Surprise, surprise. So every move that is being made is done deliberately, right? People don't just come up with random meme coins just to hype and then think that that's adding value into the crypto space. Projects are doing things deliberately for the long term, not for today, for the future, for tomorrow, right? So first step, be the largest custodian. Once you become that, now you have enough Bitcoin. Now you can create a new product and secure liquidity that is fully backed by Bitcoin held in custody with you, Coinbase. And this has and they already have a track record of 10 years. This is how you build a foundation. This is what we mean with fundamentals last for eternity. With such a fundamental, this Coinbase is going to go for decades and centuries because they are building on a foundation that everything else can be built on top of it. It started with just being a custodian. Now they're having a product. This product is providing what? Liquidity. And it's fully backed by Bitcoin itself. Held where? By themselves in their custody. And where can you use it? In DeFi. What can you do with it? Well, lend, borrow, and yield using your Bitcoin. They're adding value to the community. They're doing something that is actually adding value and has a purpose, has a use, right? This is how you're supposed to think. And it shouldn't be an institution to do this. It should be a community token such as ours that is adding value like this as well, or like Doge, or like Shiba, or like other community tokens are supposed to do things like this to add value to people and to provide and secure liquidity, right? This is something that is basic. This is what we always talk about, how liquidity is important. You can't do anything without it. And with the fees generated from BTC, they can secure that liquidity. And they're fully backed by Bitcoin because they're holding it in their custody. That's how they started. Build fundamentals. And these fundamentals will last for eternity. First example, right? This is the first example. You start with dominating a service. And this is how you do it. It starts just like with just custodian, like we said, and then you move on to a new product. You retain liquidity, you generate revenue through these fees, and the rest is history, right? This is how you go about things. Now, let's look at Circle, right? If you look at Circle, we understand that Circle plans to become a full reserve national digital currency bank, right? And guess who owns Circle to 50%? Coinbase. Coinbase owns Circle. They're partners, right? They own Circle to 50%. And in order to be a full reserve digital bank, you need to have a lot of liquidity. You have to have many revenue sources, right? And this is exactly their purpose. This is why they getting involved with so many things, becoming the largest custodian, being involved in DeFi, coming up with new products, securing liquidity, being backed by Bitcoin, all of this. They are building things with a purpose because their aim is to become a full reserve digital currency. For those who don't understand what that means, let's look at what that really means, right? Let's look at what it means. So right here. So in contrast to fractional reserve banking, full reserve banking requires banks to keep the full amount of each depositor's fund in cash and cash equivalent, ready for instant withdrawal on demand, also known as 100% reserve banking. Full reserve banking provides an alternative to a system in which only a fraction of bank deposits are backed by actual cash, right? And on hand and available for withdrawal. Right now, like we said, if you banks are not fully, don't have a full reserve. If enough people go and try to withdraw their funds at the bank right now, at the same time, the bank will go belly up, right? They're not that liquid. This is an issue. And this is exactly what Circle aims to achieve. They want to be the first full reserve bank that if that has liquidity that is you can instantly withdraw on demand. Every holder, every client can just go there and they keep a full amount of each depositor's funds in cash or cash equivalent, ready for instant withdrawal on demand. There is nothing like it right now in the banking system, right? And this is their aim. This is what they're building towards. This is their foundation that they want to build on top so that it will last them for eternity. So these are ideas, these are points that we are pointing out to the community to show that, to just highlight what others are doing right now. We will later on zoom in and look at our ecosystem and then look at what we are building and what we are working on, what's our end game, right? But for now, bear with me as we're going through these various institutions. We went from Coinbase, how they started as custodian. Now they came up with the product, Coinbase Bitcoin Wrapped, getting it into DeFi, enabling you to use that as collateral, right? And so on and so forth. Now Circle, they want to become a full reserve bank, right? Now, why is that so important? Let's look to the next step. We often talk about this, buying power, purchasing power, right? Within 100 years. We always talk about this, and it's beautiful to see that this is something that really a lot of people understand, apparently, right? 90 years ago, $1 was really back to $1, right? Because it was still back then, it was literally, the purchasing power was still strong. But now, fast forward, even just 10 years ago, that same dollar lost its purchasing power. It's only worth 5 cents now. And today it's worth 4 cents. And it keeps decreasing. The purchasing power you keep losing your purchasing power, right? And why are we highlighting this? Because this is the topic, this is our current monetary system, right? Our current monetary system is based on debt, inflation, and loss of purchasing power. This is our current reality right now, right? And unless we come up with solutions, with alternatives, everything else will remain the same, right? So let's move on and see what Binance is doing. This is now a third institution. What are they doing, right? So now Binance, they're investing in a company known as Open Eden out of Singapore. And they want to expand their tokenized real world assets, right? They're investing into real world assets. Real world assets are a buzzword right now. It's a big deal, right? And they want to focus on real world assets. So according to Binance and Binance Labs, they aim to bring the benefits of real world assets where financial yields on chain. They want to bring everything on chain now by integrating traditional assets like what? Treasury bills, right? US debts into what? They want to bring it into DeFi. Here we are again. People are coming into DeFi now. Decentralized finance is the real deal. This is where people want to come. They want to come into DeFi, decentralized finance, because you see governments are promoting it. Governments want their citizens and residents to legally own the cryptocurrency as their personal property. The only way you can do that is through decentralized finance. So these institutions, they are working towards creating products for DeFi, right? We saw Coinbase, they're creating DeFi products. Circle is also creating DeFi products, right? Binance now, they're getting into DeFi also, right? Why are they all coming into DeFi? Because they understand that this is the future. People are smart enough to understand that for me to own something, to have it as my personal property, the only way is to go through my DeFi wallet. I have to decentralized finance. So I'm owning it myself, not a centralized exchange, not through ETFs, right? But I have to own it. So institutions such as Coinbase, Circle, Binance are noticing this, right? And even Visa, MasterCards, they're all noticing it. Swift, these are all large institutions, PayPal, and they're getting into DeFi, right? And this is very important. Again, they are building a foundation that is fundamentally strong and that will last for eternity. So they are building towards DeFi, right? So why are they into DeFi? They want to also get into the DeFi space, right? Because they understand they want to further integrate tokenized assets into DeFi, because they identified that that's not the case yet. Nobody seems to want to build products, financial products that are in the real traditional space and bring it into the DeFi space, right? So, and the funding will be used to develop new products like real world asset products, tokenized assets. And the projection says real world assets will hit between 2 trillion to 4 trillion within the next 6 years, right? That's what the anticipation is. And if we look at it into more detail, Open Eden, they already have a tokenized US Treasury bill fund, right? Known as T-bill. And it's currently the largest tokenized Treasury bill product outside of the US. So obviously the largest one is BlackRock's, but we'll get to that later on. BlackRock has the largest T-bill, Treasury bill fund, liquidity fund, right? With over $500 million, 500 million in liquidity already, right? But they are in Singapore, and they are the largest outside of the US. And right now they have over 100 million total value locked in T-bills, right? So Binance wants to partner with them, or rather has already partnered with them, to create their product as well. They want to get into the T-bill business, and we'll see why shortly, right? So what they're aiming is that you'll be able to stake your stable coins, and you'll receive yields, right? Through the revenue generated from these treasury bills interest that they get, right? And offering a decentralized alternative to the traditional financial products. Here we are again. So they want to get into DeFi, right? Now these institutions are offering products so that you can stake your stable coins and get part of the yields that they generate from buying US Treasury bills, right? So this is exactly what Binance is also getting involved with, right? Why are they doing this? Not because they are pro crypto, they just enjoy crypto. It's because of the revenue. Let's look at Tether. Tether is the largest, right? They're the largest stablecoin, and they're the largest T-bill holders. And they generated $4.5 billion in net profit, right? After all expenses in first quarter of 2024 alone. So this is more than BlackRock makes in a whole year. They're making it in 1 quarter, right? So think about it. So these institutions such as Coinbase, Circle, Binance, they're not getting involved with T-bills, tokenized assets for the fun of it. They understand that it brings a lot of profits with it. There's a lot of money to be made, right, in the industry. And this is why they want to get involved with it, right? And no other reason besides that. So it's important to understand this. And another thing also, in the real world assets, we've been only talking about T-bills right now. But of course, real world assets, it's way more than just T-bills. T-bills just happen to be the largest. US stablecoins, of course, stablecoins are the largest right now. Stablecoins have right now a market cap of 160 billion, but it's still small in comparison. It will be in the tens or hundreds of trillions eventually, right? Because everything is becoming digital. So real world assets are stablecoins, right? Stablecoins are a big deal in the space, right? And then another things also are back commodities like gold, tokenized gold, right? They already hit over $1 billion in market cap, really small. And gold remains most popular commodity. So tokenized gold, right, is also another thing, commodity. And then of course, treasury, like we discussed. Treasury bills are large, but they're not even $1 billion yet. So it's still a relatively small market. This is another reason that shows you the potential that is still ahead of us. There's so much growth, so much liquidity still that is about to enter the space, right? And then of course others. Those are the three largest ones: stable coins, commodities that are backed, and treasury bills, right? So we need to understand that. Now let's look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan, the largest bank, what's their foundation? What are they building on top? They're building on top of tokenized BlackRock shares. So BlackRock already is going ahead and tokenizing everything. That's what they want to do, right? They want to tokenize everything. And then JP Morgan is coming in and uses these tokenized assets from BlackRock shares as collateral with another bank from England, from UK, the same guys that says that your cryptocurrency should be personalized property. Yes, those guys. They're the ones now. They're working together with JP Morgan and using the tokenized shares from BlackRock as collateral. So you see how they're working together with a clear vision, with a clear purpose to build a foundation that all of them can benefit from. They benefit from each other. They are creating a great ecosystem amongst each other, and they're building a foundation that will be a monopoly in the future, right? And you have to build with purpose. You have to add value. You have to, understand, look beyond, look ahead. What will people want in the future? What will be important for in the future? What are the revenue streams that we can generate, right? And if it's not liquidity, it's using it as collateral to generate credit or cash, right? So this is all part of lending and borrowing, and that's the largest part, right? So you understand that these large institutions, JP Morgan, Coinbase, Binance, Circle, they're all building strong fundamentals that will last for eternity. They're building foundation right now through tokenized assets right now, through liquidity funds. They're building a foundation and getting into DeFi. Meanwhile, cryptocurrencies, you would expect real cryptocurrencies projects to be doing what they're doing, but apparently they have enough struggling by themselves. It's hard enough to find an efficient and sustainable cryptocurrency, let alone one that is literally building products and building a strong foundation like this, right? And BlackRock themselves, of course, they're the ones who say that they want to tokenize everything, right? And it will be efficient in capital markets. And this is exactly what they're doing with JP Morgan. They are tokenizing their shares, and JP Morgan is using it as collateral, and then they're sharing the revenue, right? So this is how you do things. You start from somewhere, and you start with a liquidity fund, right? Like BlackRock did. They have their own liquidity fund. Why is liquidity so important? Liquidity is the base, community. To build something relevant, you need to build a base. You need to build a foundation, just like building a home, right? You need to have a strong foundation, and then you can start building the walls, right? Then building the roof, and then getting inside and start, but the foundation has to be strong. And this is exactly done with a liquidity first. You need to have liquidity. We saw it with Coinbase. They started with custody. Custody is liquidity. They're holding Bitcoins, right? And then you generate a pool, And once you have that pool, you can start creating products. Once you have these products, you can start using it in DeFi and generate revenue, right? And this is how you start building on top of things. But first step is always have liquidity. Once you have liquidity as a foundation, you can now build so many things. You can be a full reserve bank. You can start generating products. You can start backing real world assets, right? You can you generate revenues because you're liquid. Once you have the foundation, once you have the liquidity, now the rest is just easy now, right? Look at JP Morgan. Because their partner, BlackRock, has all the liquidity through the shares, they can use that liquidity as collateral and generate even more revenues by generating new products, right? So this is how it works, community. And now they once they tokenized everything for efficiency in capital markets, this is how they do it. You create a liquidity fund. Once you have this liquidity fund to provide liquidity to all these tokenized assets, and for JP Morgan to be using as collateral, this is how you do things. But the foundation always has to be liquidity. Without liquidity, there is no economy. And first, you need liquidity. And then once you have it, then you can start building products. Like Coinbase has been doing it, right? We saw Coinbase, we saw Circle, we saw Binance, we saw Tether, we saw JP Morgan and BlackRock. What do they all have in common? They built a foundation based on liquidity. Once you build a foundation based on sustainable, efficient liquidity, now you can start building on top of it. And that's how you dominate the market. That's how you have a foundation, and that's how you build fundamentals that will last for eternity, right? And I just wanted us to look at these different projects that we all know about and how are they dominating? How is Coinbase dominating its industry? How is Circle dominating its industry? How is Binance dominating? How is Tether? How is JP Morgan? How is BlackRock? They all use the same simple rule. They start with liquidity. They focus on building, accumulating liquidity fast. Once you have liquidity, you rule the market, you rule the industry, you dominate, because now you can add products. You can add so many things that you want to add on top of it. You can build on top of your foundation now, right? And this is how your fundamentals now will last you for eternity. This is how you dominate an industry, right? And this is the reason why now we can get into our ecosystem, right? This is the reason why we so heavily focus on liquidity. Now, this might make even more sense because it's the base for everything. If you're liquid, you have volume, right? And if you are liquid and have volume, right? Guess what? You in our case, this is what happens. This is what happens. Smart contracts can be customized, right? Why are we into the blockchain technologies? Because smart contracts, they can be customized to achieve greatness, but it's only limited to our own imaginations, right? So if we have a clear imagination, a clear understanding of the industry's challenges, how which opportunities we can take advantage of, and we understand that this monetary system we are in is flawed and unsustainable, imagine what we can achieve with this now, right? So now picture an ecosystem that is focused on a new monetary system. This new monetary system is not based on debt, inflation, and loss of purchasing power, but rather it's focusing on liquidity, scarcity, right? Sustainable staking distributions, and efficient volume. Now imagine that besides these four challenges, it's also focusing on sustainability and efficiency. And it's also focusing on community empowerment. And then finally, it's also focusing on education. So all of these aspects is what our ecosystem is all about. Now, we've discussed what Coinbase is doing, Circle, Binance, Tether, JP Morgan, BlackRock. Now let's zoom into our ecosystem. What's our foundation? What are we building? What does our foundation look like, right? Now, if we look at our ecosystem, our foundation is based on the 4 challenges in the industry, right? We're not only focusing on a liquidity foundation, we're focusing on 4 different challenges at the same time. So one of them happens to be liquidity, of course, as well, because we understand that a healthy economy needs liquidity, right? So obviously that's one of the 4 challenges that we address. So we're retaining liquidity in 4 different ways: through the taxes on the buy and sell side, through trades generally, right? Whenever a trade goes through, whether it's a buy or a sell, it adds liquidity, 3% of it, right? Through the taxes, one way. Another way is through, we put aside 10% to be staked, 10% of the BRL supply. We put aside to be staked, right? And then to be doing buybacks and restake to earn more USDC. And then we use that USDC to buy back and keep staking, right? We'll just keep buying back and restaking, buying back and restaking, right? To accumulate more USDC, and we just keep doing that. This is another way to add liquidity efficiently, right? And sustainably into our ecosystem. This is number 2. Number 3, through boosters, revenue, right? If you stake your BRL tokens on our staking platform, without these boosters, you're limited to 70% of your USDC distributions. In order for you to maximize your boosters, to receive your 100% of USDC distributions, you need a maximum of 5 boosters. And the revenue generated from these boosters are also added into the liquidity pool. So this is the 3rd way how we're generating liquidity or adding liquidity into our ecosystem. And then the 4th way is where we play in now, you and me, the community, right? Whenever you decide to do the same thing like this smart contract is doing by using your USDC distributions to buy back and restake, this is how you or we as a community are also adding more volume, right? This is how we are adding volume to and liquidity into our ecosystem. And this is how the more liquidity we add, obviously, the more volume we are going to generate, because liquidity and volume go hand in hand. The deeper the liquidity, the higher the volume, right? So our foundation that we build on, number 1, is liquidity, and we accumulate it and we retain it in 4 different ways, like we just said. Taxes, the obvious way, staking, buybacks and restaking through the USDC that we receive by staking 10% of our supply, revenue generated from the boosters, and then the community itself, you doing it with your DeFi wallet, buying back and restaking with the USDC that you are going to receive as a community member. You doing this, us doing this as a community, also adds liquidity to the ecosystem, right? And also helps buying tokens and also helps adding USDC distributions, right? So another thing that we build a foundation, our fundamental, is through scarcity, right? We understand that inflation is poison. Our current monetary system is based on inflation, debt, and loss of purchasing power, right? So we're addressing inflation by being scarce, right? So with our TrueBand, what we are doing is we started with a supply of 1 million, right? 1 million in total supply. But now, if you look at it, we already banned over 33,000 BRL tokens, right? Over 33,000. And these are being removed. These are being removed from the total supply. So instead of 1 million, we are down to 966,000. So this supply keeps shrinking. Why is this so important? It's because you want an asset that is literally liquid, scarce, gives you a form of cash flow in the form of USDC distributions. Let's go to it. You want an asset that is liquid, right? That is scarce in supply, and that gives you a cash flow in the form of USDC distributions. And it does all of this efficiently because it's using its trading volume efficiently, right? And its volume comes due to the deep liquidity, because traders love liquidity and they keep trading as long as there's deep liquidity, right? So this is an asset that doesn't exist right now in the industry. Gold is not like that. Debt bond market is not like that. Real estate is not like that. The stock market is not like that either. Stocks are not scarce. The supply doesn't shrink. The opposite, right? It actually, people keep adding even more, diluting the shares by adding even more, right? Our monetary system right now, to stimulate the economy, what are they doing? We have to print more money, right? The markets need to print more money, cause more inflation for the economy to run. And we're doing the exact opposite, right? We are accumulating liquidity for the economy to run. And volume comes naturally. Once you have liquidity, volume comes naturally. So without triggering any inflation or accumulating any debt, our foundation that we're building is we automatically have an ecosystem, a new monetary system that has deep liquidity, but it's scarce at the same time, but it's giving you a cash flow in the form of USDC distributions when you decide to stake. And it does it in an efficient manner because it's using its volume efficiently. So this is an asset class in its own league, right? Because right now, not even Bitcoin is like that. Bitcoin is not scarce. Bitcoin is inflationary. Bitcoin doesn't retain liquidity. It has a horrible liquidity to market cap ratio. Bitcoin doesn't give out incentives, and it doesn't use its volume efficiently either, right? It does other things great, right? However, if it comes to fundamentals and foundation, this is what pushes projects and takes them to heights that we've not seen before. Our community tokens, they're in the top 10, top 12, right? However, they're not retaining liquidity. They're not scarce. Dogecoin is inflationary. It keeps inflating, right? And we're not naming names, but we can go down and down and down, and none of our community tokens have the fundamentals needed to go above and beyond the bull cycle and be efficient and sustainable and really go with the growth, with the network effect. Network effect only works if you have strong fundamentals such as scarcity, liquidity, incentives that are sustainable and efficient. That's the only way the network effect is going to work. If not, your network effect is not going to work. You'll hit the limit and you'll stop growing, right? So our foundation that we're building community, picture this. You have an ecosystem that is focusing on a whole new monetary system. Liquidity, scarcity, incentives, efficiency, and sustainability, right? These are the four challenges in the industry that are lacking, right? Inflation, lack of liquidity, unsustainable staking distributions, inefficient use of volume. We are solving that. We have a solution for it. And it's been proven and tested, it's working, right? And now we do this in a sustainable and efficient manner. And while this is happening, guess what is happening? The community is being empowered. Well, Steve, how are you empowering the community? We say this many times. Ask yourself, picture yourself going down to your local bank and you want to go get a loan, right? And they're going to ask you this set of questions, this four set of questions that are very famous by now. First of all, do you have an asset? Do you have an asset? That's the first question. Do you have collateral? Second questions, are you liquid? Do you have cash stashed away? Do you have a savings stash somewhere? Third question, do you have a cash flow? Do you have a job with a steady income? Fourth, how much debt do you already have? Right? So to qualify for these four questions, this is what we mean with we empowering the community, because first of all, yes, you have an asset. Not only do you have an asset, but you have a liquid asset. And this liquid asset is scarce. It reduces in supply. It started at 1 million. Now it's down to 966,000. So you have a scarce and liquid asset, right? And this scarce and liquid asset, you are able to stake it and provide security and stability. And while you do so, you receive USDC distributions right now, right? And the total locked value right now is over 1 million, 1.1 million right now, right? And we are barely at 1.5 million market cap, right? We haven't even gone through a bull cycle yet, and we're already showing great numbers, right? And another beautiful thing that I want us to look at is that look at the percentage of staked. This is at 72.5%. This is amazing. We have a total supply of 966,000, right? Out of the 966,000, over 700,000 are locked in a smart contract through staking. Another 150,000 is in the liquidity pool. So 850,000 literally out of the 960,000 are either locked in a staking contract or in the liquidity pool. This means we only have a little bit over 100,000 circulating. Which other cryptocurrency only has 100,000 circulating supply? This is massive. The rest is locked in a smart contract, staking contract, or is in the liquidity pool. Only 100,000 is floating around. This is massive. Now picture going through a bull cycle like this. Imagine there's not much supply. There's only 15% left. 72.5% of that is locked away. And these people that locked away their tokens, they're receiving a sustainable staking distributions, right? And the remaining tokens are being banned from Uniswap too. So the supply keeps shrinking. This is exactly what we mean. This is the foundation that we are building. Today's topic is fundamentals last for eternity. And you do this from day one, so you don't have to worry about strategizing. Once you hit 1 billion market cap, 10 billion market cap, you won't have to start scrambling, trying to find ways how to be efficient. You do it from the very beginning. From day one, we are already retaining liquidity. We are scarce. We have a sustainable staking distributions, right? And we're doing it efficiently by using our volume efficiently. So we have a strong foundation already, very solid foundation. And it's all on a smart contract that you can go and verify yourself. This is a staking contract, right? This is a smart contract. You see it here. It's a smart contract. It says it, contract, right? And you can verify yourself. How much USDC do we have? You can check it. How much Bullrun tokens are locked in? You can check it right here. What's the remaining supply? You can check it right here. How much has been banned so far? You can verify. You can come here. Banned so far, 33,000. What's the total supply remaining? 966. You can come watch it over here, or you can come to Etherscan and verify for yourself. You don't have to trust. You can verify, right? And this is the whole purpose. You have to build an ecosystem with strong fundamentals that will last for eternity. And this has to have a solid staking distribution so that the community has trust in it, and they have to trust us. They can believe in the smart contract, right? They don't have to interact with human beings. They are interacting with a smart contract, right? Like you see, this is a contract and it's under their control, just like it says here. It's their personal property. Because you have a DeFi wallet, guess what? This is yours. You control whenever you want to stake, unstake. It's up to you. You decide. It's under your control because it's your property. It's your personal property. It's your DeFi wallet, right? And this is what blockchain technology is all about, right? So today's topic is fundamentals last for eternity. What are your fundamentals? What's your ecosystems? What's your favorite cryptocurrency's fundamentals? Are they developed to last for eternity? Are they scarce? Do they have scarcity? Are they retaining liquidity? Is their staking platform sustainable and efficient? Are their staking distributions sustainable and efficient? Are they using their volume efficiently? Right? Ask yourself these questions. What's the foundation that your cryptocurrency is building? Will this foundation last for eternity? Is it in the form of a smart contract? Can you verify it on Etherscan? Right? Ask yourself these questions, because right now we understand that the first interest rate cuts are coming. We all know what that means. That means the economy is getting ready to be stimulated. Will your ecosystem benefit from it? Is it built to retain liquidity that is about to be gushed into the economy? Is it scarce for the stakers, so that for you to stake your token, you want to stake a scarce asset. You don't want to stake a token that is inflationary, right? You want to stake a token that is scarce, that is shrinking in supply with every trade that is happening. We started with 1 million, now we are down to 966. That's what you want. You want to stake a scarce token, right? That's what you want. And this is why you see this number keeps increasing. And we've been keep increasing in this number, and over 700,000 is locked away. This is impressive. And just to check, we always have to check and verify, where are we right now? We are at 72.5% right now, right? So we are still the fourth largest, most staked token cryptocurrency in the industry, only behind Saga, Aptos, and Sui, right? And all three of them are inflationary tokens. They don't have a banning mechanism either, right? So we all know what that means. So if you don't have strong fundamentals, if your staking platform is not scarce, you're in trouble, right? And the best example, and I'm not picking on anyone, but just to make an example, first of all, let's look at the largest protocol right now. And ironically, Aave used to be third. Aave now is the second largest. Remember? They're the second largest right now, only behind Lido. So Aave is the second largest application in the entire industry, right? But if you look at Aave's fundamentals, let's look at Aave's staking. If you look at Aave, why are not many staking Aave? How is the second largest cryptocurrency? Why is it not being staked so much? This is the second largest application, the second most used application, second most valuable application. So this is not a meme coin. This is a serious application that I personally am using. I love Aave, great application. However, if you look at its fundamentals, you'll be surprised, because you'll quickly realize that, look how much this is staked Aave, right? And the percentage went up. It used to be 17%, now it's 18.8%. But still, how can the second largest application in the entire industry, why do they only have 18% staked? Almost 19%. Why? Why is that the case? Simply because it's inflationary, right? This is their contract. This is their staking contract. And they're giving you even more Aave. You stake Aave, you receive more Aave. What does this do? It causes inflation. How does inflation look like? You see exactly what it looks like. This is what inflation does to you, right? Inflation, you lose your purchasing power. This is the whole idea here. Where is it? This is what we're talking about, right? You lose your purchasing power due to inflation, right? And this is exactly what we see. If you understand this basic concept, you understand that if you have a staking platform that gives you more of the same native token, it causes inflation. And inflation means loss of purchasing power, right? And this is exactly what we have been discussing. So in the long term, this is what your chart will look like, right? So there is no staking platform out here right now that has a scarce supply like ours. We are the only staking platform, and we happen to be the fourth largest right now, most staked token at 72.5%, right? And I'm sure as we're approaching bull cycle and we're going through it, we'll surpass the 81% because we used to have 84% staked at its peak. So I'm sure we'll be the most staked very soon. Latest as we're going through the bull cycle. Very soon we'll be the most staked token. Why? Because we have a sustainable staking distributions in USDC, and because we are scarce, right? Our supply keeps shrinking. And this is our foundation that we are building. And then we're retaining liquidity, attracting traders. More traders, more volume, more liquidity, more scarcity, more USDC. You get the idea, right? And this is how our foundation is built. And these fundamentals last for eternity. In order to build on top or go above and beyond, you need a solid foundation. You need strong fundamentals first. And these are our fundamentals. We're retaining liquidity, attracting traders, attracting volume. We have a staking platform that is sustainable. And then we are scarce as well. And we're using our volume efficiently. And we're creating a positive feedback loop that feeds into each other, right? So if you're a trader, you are happy because we have deep liquidity. You can enter and exit, right? If you're a holder, you're happy too because the more trades are happening, the scarcer the supply becomes. If you're a holder, if you're a staker, you are very happy because the more people are staking, the more liquid it becomes. And the more liquid it becomes, the more trading. The more trading, the more USDC is being accumulated for you to accumulate as you stake your tokens, right? So it's a win-win for everyone. Whether you're a trader, you have deep liquidity. You're a holder, the supply keeps shrinking. You're a staker, you receive sustainable USDC distributions, right? So whether you're a trader, a holder, a staker, it's a win-win-win for everyone, right? We don't have to step on each other's necks, backstab each other, strategize how to exit before everybody else and before it goes to zero. No, we don't have to deal with all of that stress. Why? Because we have strong fundamentals that last for eternity, right? That makes us as community members relax. And this is why we do these educational sessions to inform and educate and inspire the community about what we have. We have something that is stable, sustainable, that is efficient, right? That has strong fundamentals that last for eternity. And you can verify it on the blockchain, on Etherscan, right? And we are the fourth most staked cryptocurrency in the world, right? So, and we are doing this with barely how many holders? 1,000 holders, right? We're just a small community token, but we're already the fourth largest staked, most staked. So imagine when we hit 10,000, when we hit 50,000 holders, 100,000 holders, we'll be by far the most staked. So this is our aim, right? And also our other aim is to be the most liquid because we understand the more liquidity you have, and liquidity is the foundation, the more volume you generate, right? So why are stablecoins the number one application? Besides the obvious, it's generating record net profits. It's because they are liquid, right? It's because the liquidity. The liquidity brings a lot of volume, right? As you see here, they have a higher volume. Tether has a higher volume than Bitcoin and Ethereum combined. Why? Because it has more liquidity. So the more liquidity you have, the higher your volume, right? And the higher volume, the more USDC we generate, the more BRL tokens we burn, and the more liquidity we retain, right? So this is how we build strong fundamentals that will last to eternity. And this is how we are addressing today's topic. I hope it brought clarity to the community members, and that we have a deeper understanding and appreciation of our ecosystem that is literally built based on strong fundamentals that will last to eternity, that you can verify, right? That is addressing the four challenges, that is efficient and sustainable, right? And that puts the community's best interests at heart and is actually empowering the community, right? As well. And that is focusing on educating the community on a weekly basis, on a daily basis on Zoom as well, right? So this is the message for today, community. And as always, we always have to come full circle. And let me share my screen. Let me now come back to you and check, read your comments, go through them. In case you have any questions, go through them, answer them. That's what we are now about to do. As you bear with me. So here we are, community. So let's start with your comments, community. Let's see who's here. My brother Dave says, hello, community. Hope you are doing great, my brother. People change, days change, but smart contracts will stick to the script forever. Absolutely. This was our last community events topic. If it's not on a smart contract, it will change, right? And this is also today's message. It has to be verifiable. It has to be on the blockchain. If not, it won't last, right? It won't be here for eternity, right? That's a great point. Queen Grace says, I'm looking forward to these priceless lessons. Thank you, Queen Mother and Mr. Steve. BRL community, let's learn and stay informed. Beautifully said. Very, very true. Brother Theo says, greetings, my great brother Steve, dearest Queen Mama Wino, and my phenomenal Bullrun family. I pray you and yours are all well on this Thursday. It is such a blessing for me to be here with you all. What an epic title to this session. Powerful stuff. Let's go. Thank you so much for your feedback, and always happy to see you in the community, Brother Theo. Queen Deek or Brother Deek says, looking forward to today's session. Queen Patricia says, good evening, family. Glad to be present to hear from our committed developer, Mr. Steve. Thank you, Steve, for your dedication. Stay protected and blessed always. Thank you so much, Queen Patricia. Always a pleasure seeing you in the community. We appreciate your consistency. You're always here, always participating in these events. It's always a pleasure to see you. Brother Deek says, or Queen Deek says, looking forward to learning more today. We are happy having you in the community. We are very, very excited having you here with us today. Queen Nosy says, good evening, Brother Steve. It's another day to receive more information, more education, and thanks to our Queen Mother, Awino, for your everlasting love and support rendered to all the queens. Thank you so much for your feedback. Very much appreciated. And I can only give it right back to you all, because I always like to remind us that this is all based on community, right? It's a community effort. We are just adding our little piece to the puzzle. We're just doing our small part, that we're doing here in a consistent manner, right? And there's nothing more beautiful than leading by example, right? So that it should encourage all of us to do our parts, no matter how big or how small it is, right? Even just showing up and engaging with the tweets, that's a big deal. Even just you being here, participating, showing up, it's a big deal, right? So we are all just adding value in our own ways with our own abilities. So thank you so much, Queen Nosy. You're also very much appreciated for your consistency. Queen Beatrice says, good evening, community. Hello, Queen Mother. Hello, Brother Steve. We are back again for another session. Go ahead. It's always a pleasure seeing you, Queen Beatrice. Very excited always to have you all here with us. Queen Nosy says, not forgetting our one and only technician, Queen Val, for your everlasting help rendered to us on Zoom, always cherished. Absolutely. Queen Val has just been so solid, very consistent. Zoom is literally a home, right? From morning to late at night, Queen Val is always there, helping, patiently helping, assisting, and she took it very personal and very, very much appreciated. Thank you, Queen Nosy, for recognizing and appreciating Queen Val. Indeed, that's her domain. She's been really pulling her weight, adding her value, chipping in, doing her part, as well. And if we all can find something that we can add and do on a consistent basis, so that we are known for what we're doing, this will be amazing, right? So thank you also, Queen Val, and thank you, Queen Nosy, for recognizing her efforts as well. Queen Tomelezzo says, hello, Brother Steve, Mama Wino, and the entire Bullrun family. Looking forward to today's session. So was I. Welcome. Always happy to see you, Queen Tomelezzo. And glad to have you here with us. Our brother N2B2 says, hello, community. Always excited to attend these weekly VCs. Momentum and excitement is building every day. Inflation is down and Feds meet next week. So lots of excitement for what's to come. Absolutely right, N2B2. Very, very true. Glad to always see you on social platforms. You're very active on all these different various platforms that we're in. It's contagious, your tweets are very informative, educational, and yes, exciting times ahead of us, especially with the interest rate cuts about to come. We understand that this is going to stimulate the economy and trigger the bull cycle for us to really start being part of this amazing bull cycle we've been anticipating for a very long time now. Queen Aloshi says, grateful for yet another moment of getting more know in matters crypto from our able and gifted leader, Steve. Eagerly waiting. Always a pleasure to see you here, Queen Aloshi. You're very much appreciated. The community appreciates you. We all appreciate you very, very much. Queen Grace says, hello, Mr. Steve, Mama Wino, and the Bullrun family. This is an exciting moment to hear from our dev, Steve. We are grateful for all that you do to educate, inform, and inspire us. We love and appreciate you. Thank you so much, Queen Grace. You are very much loved and appreciated also for all your efforts you put in, your commitment. You're always consistently attending these events. You're all over social platforms, on Twitter and on Telegram, WhatsApps. You're everywhere. So thank you as well for your commitment. You're very much appreciated. Queen Lati says, community, are we aware of the magnitude of this project and the fundamentals that were set? I can't hold my excitement as I watch it grow, and this project will explode beyond our expectations. Very beautifully said, Queen Lati. This is so true. We've been really growing massively. And I really want to take a minute and add to what just Queen Lati said. Do we all remember when we were stuck at 20 cents? We don't focus on prices, but just to say we had 200,000 market cap for a very long time. And without any paid influencers, without any outsiders, just with sheer effort, commitment, working together as a community, and just being consistent. We've been growing on YouTube, on Telegram, on Twitter, right, as well. And look at our charts have been growing. We've been all excited about this, and we can see the efforts. All our efforts is starting to show and pay off. So what Queen Lati says is very true, right? We have something beautiful that works. We are very efficient, sustainable. We have a beautiful platform. We have an amazing community that is extremely informed and educated, and we are all highly inspired, right? So this is the base that we need to succeed. This is exactly the blueprint to success. And we have it, community. It's here with us. All we need to do is keep on, maintain, go above and beyond, keep being consistent, right? Everybody pulling their weights, right? And adding whatever their ability, whatever you can do it, right? Be known for what you're doing. Be appreciated for what you're doing, right? Take ownership, be responsible, take accountability, and run with whatever you want to do. And then let's make it. We have the blueprint. Everything is going for us, right? So well said, Queen Lati. Queen Resego says, greetings to our Queen Mom, Mama Wino, our King Steve, and the entire Bullrun community. It's yet another day to come and learn from the best. Bullrun ecosystem to the moon. Well said, Queen Resego. You're very much appreciated as well. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for always being part of these community events. You are very much appreciated. Queen Lati says, thank you to our developer, our brother Steve, and Queen Mother Wino. Thank you too, Queen Lati, for your feedbacks, your commitment. Your positive energy is very contagious as well. Uncle George says, good evening. Good evening back to you as well, Uncle George. I hope you are great. You're doing fantastic. Queen Cynthia says, greetings, Bullrun Live community. Hi, Steve. Thanks for continuously showing up to educate us. I look forward to all the updates and in the blockchain space. Always a pleasure seeing you, Queen Cynthia. Nice having you in the community. Always a pleasure. We appreciate your consistency, your support. You are very inspirational to all of us. Queen Gloria says, happy Thursday. We thank God. You're our Moses, Steve. Queen Gloria, thank you so much for your commitment, for always being part of these sessions as well. Thank you for your feedback, your kind, encouraging words. You're very much appreciated. Very, very much appreciated. My brother Eric says, another great opportunity that I have been wanting for in anticipation to receive nuggets of information from our crypto guru, brother Steve. Bravo. Thank you so much for your feedback, brother Eric. I see you all the time. You're very consistent. I see you all over the place. We're happy to have you in our community. You're an asset to it. Keep pushing, keep adding value to the ecosystem as you do by just showing up, being present, being consistent. Your feedback's very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Queen Molly says, hello family, happy Thursday. Let's be engaging with these tweets. Beautifully said, Queen Molly. That's the least we can do, right? To put the word out, to engage, trigger the algorithm. Let's make noise as we always been doing. We are very loud on Twitter. We bring a lot of awareness to our ecosystem. We are very engaged. So it's amazing. We're doing amazing, community. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep doing what we're doing because it works, right? We see it in our charts. We are growing steadily. The enthusiasm is high. The energy is high. So the interest rates are being cut within a week. We are entering the vital time of stimulating the economy. This is what we need to trigger the bull market. So everything is going for us, community. Let's just keep doing what we've been doing. And consistency is key, right? Queen Alice says, greetings, Brother Steve, our Queen Mom and great family. It's another exciting Thursday. Looking forward to learning. Steve, you are a blessing. You are a blessing as well, Queen Alice. You are all a blessing, community members as well. And the beautiful thing is we're all in this together, right? Me adding value to the ecosystem is we all benefit, right? And you, Queen Alice, adding value to this ecosystem, we all benefit. So any little thing, every one of us adds, we all benefit. So we're all in this together, right? And that's the beautiful thing about this ecosystem, about this blockchain technology, about this community, is that every little thing that we do, or every big thing that we do, is for every single one of us. We all benefit from each other, right? And we don't have to fight each other, strategize to outdo each other, outwit each other. We don't have to go through all of that. We can take a deep breath and just work together and succeed together. Ain't that beautiful? This is beautiful. This is so beautiful. This is unique. And this sets our ecosystem apart. We can be relieved and just work together as a community and grow together, right? Queen Mel, always happy to see you, Queen Mel. I hope you are well. Always happy to see you in the community as well. Queen Alice says, let's like, family. We are many, but likes. Yes, let's hit the like button. Let's ensure that we're engaging with today's live stream. it goes a long way. It will reach a lot of people, and that's the goal. That's the goal. Well said, Queen Alice. Queen Molly says, let's all hit the like button, family. We are 40 and only 19 likes. Click on the like button. Absolutely. Let's engage with the likes button. Let's ensure that we are very active and we are engaging. Queen D says, hello, Bullrun family and brother Steve. We are glad for another special education from our dedicated brother. Thanks once more to inspire, inform, and educate us. Thank you so much, Queen Patricia. You're very much appreciated as well. And I'm glad that we can all learn together, grow together, succeed together. That's the whole idea, right? Uncle George says, hi, Steve, Mama Wino, and Bullrun fraternity. It's gratifying to see how far we've come and the hope that lies ahead. Question: what in your view is the minimum necessary to trigger USDC and NFT distributions? USDC distributions. There is no minimum. We just need a consistent volume, right? Consistency is key. We just need, as long as we have a consistent volume, that's exactly what we need. And this is what will really give us consistent and steady USDC distributions. And we are on our right way right now, especially with everything happening right now with the interest rate cuts coming. As we are growing as a community, we are on the right track right now. Our USDC distributions are growing healthy. We are at over 3,000 right now. So we are getting closer and closer. And all we need is a consistent volume. And that's exactly what we need to trigger and start accumulating USDC for ourselves. And absolutely, you're right, Uncle George. We really came a long way. We really came from very far. And to see how we are growing consistently, it's beautiful. It's very beautiful. It's uplifting. It's encouraging. It just shows and testifies that hard work pays off. And us working together really brings us far and puts us in the right place. My great brother Abdullahi says, timeless wisdom. Fundamentals are the foundation upon which success is built. Beautifully said. Very, very true. In a world of fleeting trends and quick fixes, it's refreshing to be reminded of the enduring power of strong fundamentals. Wow, beautifully said. There's nothing to add, Brother Abdullahi. You said it all, really. Very beautifully said. As always, your comments, your feedbacks are always very informative and very engaging and very educative. So you're very much appreciated, Brother Abdullahi. Queen Patricia says, UK passed a bill of crypto as a property. Is it possible to analyze it for us, please? Absolutely. The whole point is that, like we discussed in our last community event, the whole point of cryptocurrency is for us to own it, to have access and full control over our own, to have control of our own property, of our own assets, right? And the only way to do it is through DeFi, decentralized finance, through our DeFi wallets, right? MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Coinbase DeFi wallet, and so on and so forth. And this is what the UK is passing a bill for, so that crypto owners that are owning their cryptocurrencies, these cryptocurrencies that own these assets are looked at as personal properties, meaning that nobody can take it from you. But for us to own these assets, it can't be through ETFs, right? Because ETFs are just a share, like a paper that you get, a certificate that you own something. But the real asset is not owned, right? JP Morgan owns the real asset. If you do it through centralized exchanges, these centralized exchanges are the ones that own these assets, right? The only way you really own your asset is if you have a DeFi wallet, Trust Wallet, Coinbase DeFi, Coinbase Wallet, or MetaMask, and you own your own seed phrases. You own your own wallet. You have access to it. You have control over it. That's the beautiful thing. And this is what the UK passed a bill for those who own and hold and have control over their assets. It's their property, and you can't take it from them, right? It's their personal property. Like if you have a deed, a title deed, right, of your home, of your car, it's yours, right? It's paid in full, it's yours. Same thing with your assets, right? You purchased it, it's in your control, it's in your DeFi wallet, you own it, right? And now there's a law that legalizes it and makes it official that those who own crypto assets, it's their personal property that you can't take from them, right? That's basically what it says, Queen Patricia. I hope that gave you more clarity on your question. Brother Abdullah says, thanks for the reminder to stay focused on what truly matters, the basics that lead to lasting impact and eternal legacy. Feel free to adjust if needed. Beautifully said, Brother Abdullah. Often we get carried away with the prices and market caps, and we forget the fundamentals, the basics, right? Which actually are the real lasting impact and eternal legacy, like you said. Beautifully said, Brother Abdullah. Thank you. Thanks. You read my mind. I'm glad I did. I hope. Maybe because your question was answered during the session. Absolutely, I'm very glad that your question was answered as we went through the session today. Thank you very much, Queen Patricia. My brother Abdullah says, lest I forget, warm greetings to you all and a very special one to you, Steve. Thank you so much, my brother Abdullah. Very, very much appreciated. Greetings right back to you as well and the rest of the community. Queen Evelyn says, thank you, Steve, for laying out the ecosystem that will always be there for eternity. You really have changed lives. Thank you so much. Everything that you have done. Like we always remind, it takes all of us. Thank you so much, first of all, Queen Evelyn. Always a pleasure to see you in the community. I see your commitment. You're very consistent. You're always showing up in these events. You're very, very much appreciated. Excuse me. And thank you for your feedback. Thank you for uplifting, encouraging words. You're very much appreciated. And we're also very grateful to all of you because it's a community effort, right? We won't be this far without every single one of us in here, right? Everybody's chipping in. Everybody's really putting their best foot forward, adding value to the ecosystem. And this is all of us, right? We are just doing our part like you are doing your part as well, right? We're all just adding value to this beautiful ecosystem. And we just want the best for each other. And we want to succeed together. That's all we aim for. So thank you very much, Queen Evelyn. Made it, family. Marcel, this is my YouTube. Queen Cero, welcome. Glad that you're able to make it to today's session. Feel right at home. You're very much welcome. You're very much appreciated. Queen Esther says, glad to be here tonight. Thanks, Brother Steve, as always, for being the efficient educator that you are. Thank you so much, Queen Esther. Very much appreciated. Always a pleasure seeing you. Glad to have you here with us today as well. Brother Glenn says, good day, Bullrun family. Things are counting to look great for the Bullrun ecosystem. Absolutely. Community is doing amazing. The teamwork makes the dream work, right? Queen Mother Wino says, greetings, Bullrun family. Hope all is well with you and your loved ones. Exciting times ahead. Thanks, Steve, for yet another informative and educational session. Thank you too, Queen Mother, for all your inputs, your leadership, your encouragement, uplifting the queens in the community and the kings. And you're very much appreciated as well. Queen Debbie says, greetings, community. I am super excited about the topic today. What a blessing to have you, Brother Steve. Where else can we get free education if not Bullrun ecosystem? Always a pleasure to see you, Queen Debbie. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for your efforts, your commitment, your consistency. You always show up in these community events. See you always on Twitter, see you on all different platforms. You're very much appreciated as well. And I'm glad that you feel that way. And this is the whole idea, is that we all on the same page. We all are informed and educated and can grow together, right? Thank you for your feedback. Very much appreciated. Queen Basha says, hello, everyone. Hello, right back to you too, Queen Basha. It's a pleasure having you here with us today. We have Queen Awani here as well. Welcome, Queen Awani. It's a pleasure having you here with us today. Feel right at home. Thank you for being part of this session today. Queen Grace says, the deeper the liquidity, the higher the volume. BRL ecosystem has accurate solutions to the major challenges in the crypto space. Beautifully said, Queen Grace. This is exactly what it is, right? The deeper the liquidity, the higher the volume. And the higher the volume, the scarcer the supply, the more USDC we retain, and the more liquidity we retain as well. So you're absolutely right, Queen Grace. Well said. Thank you for that feedback. Queen Joy says, hello, Steve. Thanks for another very informative session. I have these questions. 1% of tax goes to eco-ops. What does eco-ops mean? Kindly explain when an address is blacklisted or whitelisted. Amazing questions. Eco and ops is for operations, right? For the ecosystem and operations. We have an upkeep. We have our own staking platform, right? And this staking platform needs maintenance, monthly maintenance. And we have servers that we are paying for on a monthly basis, right? Through Google. We are using their servers to maintain our staking platform. Because we have a personal, a private ecosystem staking platform, we have to upkeep it, we have to maintain it, and it's very costly. So that's where the funds will go towards maintaining the ecosystem and its operations, right? That's what it means. But right now, due to the low volume, we haven't been getting much. So it's been coming from our pockets. So we've been just funding or maintaining the staking platform on our own right now. But eventually, once it kicks in, that's where the cost will go towards maintaining the staking platform. Servers are very expensive to maintain, and it needs to be serviced on a monthly basis. That's what it means. And our address is blacklisted. This is like for Killer Whale and Survivor. We blacklisted the addresses, meaning that that wallet, nobody can have access to it, right? So it's blacklisted, meaning that nobody can remove the tokens, that 1% of the tokens that are being banned and brought to that wallet. That wallet is accumulating BRL or Survivor tokens, and it's blacklisted so that nobody has access to it. It will never be in the circulating supply again, right? It's removed from circulation. That's basically what it means. I hope that answers your question, Queen Joy. Queen Esther says, hi, Steve. I'm grateful for the system and the education. Just wondering how we will go about withdrawing our money into banks, especially in Europe, when the time comes. There are multiple ways to do that, especially in Europe. If you say in Europe, there are multiple ways because crypto.com is being used in Europe, right? And that's just one of them. They have other exchanges as well that you can connect your bank to, right? Or there are multiple ways to have a debit card, a crypto card that you can top up with your crypto, right? Through USDC or ETH, you can top up your card. So there are various ways to do that, Queen Esther. And I also put out some videos about that on how to really go about it. But it's something that I can talk about next community event on next time we have a YouTube. I can focus on that and just show us different exchanges that you can use, especially if you say that you're in Europe or other places. You know, if you're in Africa, it's mainly Binance. If you're in Europe, it's mainly crypto.com. If in the US, it's Coinbase mainly. So there are various ways to do it, Queen Esther. I'll keep this in mind and make this a topic in our next community event on Thursday, where I can share my screen and just show different ways to do it, show the different crypto debit cards. Like we discussed last time also, how MasterCard also came up with, MasterCard actually partnered with MetaMask. So you can actually apply in Europe, and this is only in Europe, Queen Esther. So in case you live in Europe, this is an option for you, because MetaMask partnered with MasterCard, and you can load up that debit card, MasterCard. It's a crypto debit card. You can load it up straight from your MetaMask onto that card, and then you can use that card directly without having to go through your bank, right? And then you can use it. I'll be happy to focus on this topic in our next community event. So if that's something that will benefit the community, I'll be happy to do that. Great feedback, great question, Queen Esther. I hope that answered your question. Queen Molly says, thank you, family. Queen Val here. Zoom would be a boring place without our wonderful Queen Mother and you all. Thank you, Mr. Steve, for the platform and the constant education. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much for your feedback, and you are very much appreciated. Queen Molly says, family, let's make sure we all leave a comment after the session ends, and don't forget to hit the like button. Absolutely. Let's ensure that we do that. Let's ensure that we engage with the tweets. Let's ensure that we engage with the live stream here as well, as it triggers the algorithm, and it will take us a long way, right? It will go a long way. So let's ensure that we do that. Queen Molly, very well said. Good evening, community. Hello, Steve. Queen Shayla says, good evening, community. Hello, Steve, and not forgetting our Queen Mother. We are so blessed to have you too in our lives. And thanks so much for the teaching, Steve, and stay blessed. Thank you so much, Queen Shayla. We are so happy and excited to have you with us in the community. Thank you for adding value to our ecosystem by just gracing us with your presence, being consistent, and being part of these events. Very, very much appreciated. And thank you for your kind and uplifting words as well. Queen Mel says, happy Thursday, family. Greetings, Brother Steve and Queen Mom. I'm happy to be here again today. I'm growing in this platform. We are always very thrilled and excited to see you here, Queen Mel. You're very much appreciated. I hope you're in good health. I hope you're doing great, you and your family. Thank you for your consistency, your leadership. Your positive energy is contagious. You're very much appreciated. Queen Goliba says, hello, Mr. Steve, Queen Mom, and my family. Today, my mentor was over the moon. I'm so happy for this session. Thanks, Mr. Steve, for everything. Thank you so much, Queen Goliba. Your excitement and your energy is contagious. Thank you for your energy that you feed to the community. Your consistency, your efforts are very much appreciated, very much. Queen Joy says, hello, Brother Steve. Thanks for answering the eco-ops and blacklisted address questions. I also wanted to know what a whitelisted address means. You're very welcome. Whitelisted addresses are those that, first of all, let me make clear that we don't have whitelisting, right? But a whitelisted address is, for example, like I'm using crypto.com, for example. Let me make an example. And before I was able to withdraw from crypto.com to an external address, right? Let's say if I want to load up my DeFi wallet, and I've never loaded it up before. So crypto.com will always require me to whitelist that address, meaning that it's verified and I'm sure that I have access to it and I know it, right? Because oftentimes you can send funds to a wallet address by mistake, right? And this is to avoid such things. So in terms of whitelisted addresses, this just means that these are approved addresses. These are confirmed addresses that you personally know, and it serves as a security, as a safety net for you not to send funds in a unwanted address or wrong address. So usually these exchanges like crypto.com, for example, they make you whitelist an address so that you don't have to, once you whitelist it once, you can be assured that that's the right address and you won't be missing out. So as far as that is concerned, But also whitelisting can also be, for example, if there's a new token that came out, a new project came out, and it needs to be, in order to participate in early buys, right? You have to be whitelisted first in order to purchase these tokens. That's another example of whitelisting as well. So basically, whitelisting just means to confirm, verify that wallet address before you can interact or have transactions on it or to it. That's all it means, Queen Joy. Amazing question. Amazing question. Queen Mel says, "Hi, brother. I'm Tanaka, Queen Me. Queen Me." Yes. Yes, yes. It's a pleasure always to see you. I'm very happy to always see you in the community. Queen Esther says, yes, it does answer my question, and we'll look forward. Yes, I live in UK. Great, great. UK is great because, like I said, MasterCard partner with MetaMask, and they came up with, you can now use, it's only in euros too. So you can use that wallet. They have a debit card. I will talk about it in our next YouTube event. So they have this debit card that MasterCard debit, crypto debit card that you can top up using your MetaMask directly from your MetaMask. So this is great for all the people, community members that live in Europe. And then in UK, crypto.com is also big in UK as well. So you have multiple options, Queen Esther. Queen Mel says, so I would like to know how long Bullrun is going to last. To be honest, nobody has the exact time how long it's going to last, but just judging based on past performances, it's usually starts end of the year, like October, and then it goes on, it picks on throughout 2025, and then it goes sideways again, and then end of 2025 it might pick again for the second time, end of the year again, and picks up again. So it usually lasts between 9 to 12 months, Queen Mel. I hope that answered your question. Queen Cynthia says, thank you, my king. I'm very much excited to be part of this community. Very, very much appreciated. You're very much appreciated, Queen Cynthia, and glad to have you in the community. I also see you very consistently, you showing up and being part of these sessions. Very much appreciated, right? And Queen Mel, I hope your question was answered. Let me know if that was the case. And thank you so much for your feedbacks, your questions, your interactions. Very, very much appreciated, community. With that said, I want to thank you all that participated in today's event. I hope the message today hit home and was clear for all of us to engage and appreciate it. And with that said, community, I want to wish you all a wonderful rest of your week. You're all very much appreciated. It was a pleasure on my side. Let's ensure, for those that are just joining or have not yet, let's engage with the tweets, very important. And also, let's not forget to comment, like this stream so that it can reach as many people as possible. With that said, community, I want to thank you all very much for participating. It's been a pleasure. I wish you and yours a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Thank you for being part of this session today. You're all very much appreciated. Till then, let's see again tomorrow, latest on Saturday when we have our Telegram VC. And with that said, I want to wish you all a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye, everyone. Stay safe and let's stay focused and committed and consistent. Bye-bye, community. Thank you all for being part of this session today.